Ladies and gentlemen, there's a moment every morning, before the sun rises, before the world wakes up, where you have a choice. Stay in comfort or step into your potential. That moment defines everything. Most people hit snooze, not just on their alarm, but on their lives. They trade ambition for 5 more minutes of sleep. They let hesitation steal their momentum. And then they wonder why they're stuck. But you are not most people. Every day you wake up is a gift. Every morning you open your eyes, you've been given another shot at life. And what you do next, that's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Every morning, before the world stirs, before the first decision is made, you are given a choice to stay in comfort or to step forward into the life you claim you want. This is where everything begins, not in the middle of the day, not when you feel ready, not when the conditions are perfect. It starts the moment your eyes open, the moment you decide whether today will be a repeat of yesterday or the start of something greater. Most people don't think about this choice, they don't recognize its power. They wake up and immediately fall into routine, checking their phones, scrolling through distractions, starting the day in reaction rather than intention. And that's why most people never change. Because they don't choose their day, they let their day choose them. But here's the truth. If you want more from life, you can't start your day the way most people do. Success doesn't come to those who wait until they feel like it. It doesn't come to those who allow the morning to slip by, hoping that somewhere along the way motivation will hit them. Success comes to those who start with purpose. Purpose isn't something you find, it's something you define. It's not waiting for you in a book, in a seminar, or in someone else's words. It's already within you, but it requires a decision. The decision to take ownership of your life, to stop waiting for direction and start creating it. And that starts the moment you wake up. Think about it. How you begin your day sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start with discipline, you build momentum. If you start with hesitation, you invite excuses. And once excuses take root, they spread. One skipped workout turns into a week of missed training. One delayed task becomes a habit of procrastination. One weak morning turns into a pattern of mediocrity. That's why the first decision of your day is the most important one. When you wake up with purpose, you don't waste time negotiating with yourself. You don't lie in bed debating whether or not you should get up. You don't check your phone to see what the world wants from you before you've decided what you want from yourself. You move, you take action. You set the standard for how the rest of the day will go. But the problem? Most people wait. They wait for energy. They wait for the right mood. They wait for motivation to kick in before they start acting. But motivation is fleeting. It's unreliable. If you build your life around motivation, you'll spend more time waiting than winning. High achievers don't rely on how they feel in the morning. They rely on what they've committed to. They don't negotiate with discipline. They don't hit snooze on their goals. They wake up and move forward, whether they feel like it or not. And that's the difference. That's the line between those who conquer their day and those who are conquered by it. So ask yourself, what are you waking up for? What's the first thing on your mind when you open your eyes? Is it your goals, your purpose, your mission, or is it distraction, delay, and excuses? Because if it's not purpose, you're already falling behind. If it's not a clear, intentional direction, you're already allowing the world to dictate your path instead of leading your own. Purpose is what separates the driven from the drifting. It's what makes the difference between someone who simply exists and someone who truly lives. It's not about what you have to do. It's about what you choose to do. And that choice starts before your feet even touch the ground. So when the alarm goes off, when the opportunity to delay, to wait, to hesitate presents itself, remember what's at stake. Remember that every excuse, every moment of hesitation, every delay is a step away from the life you want. Most people never realize that greatness doesn't come from one big decision. It comes from thousands of small ones. It's built in the moments most people ignore, the ones they call insignificant, the ones they let slip by because they don't see the immediate impact. But every morning, every decision, every action compounds. It creates patterns. It reinforces who you are. And the truth is, You are either building strength or you're building weakness. There is no in between. You don't get to wake up and decide to coast through the day and expect excellence to just happen. You don't get to start slow and expect to finish strong. The standard you set in the first moments of your morning is the standard you will carry throughout the day. So what's it going to be? The way you start your morning determines how you live your life. It's not just another part of your day, it's the foundation of everything that follows. If you win the morning, you win the day. But if you lose it, if you wake up without direction, without discipline, without ownership, then you spend the rest of the day trying to catch up. Most people wake up and go straight into reaction mode. The alarm goes off and the first thing they do, check their phone. See what the world wants from them before they've even decided what they want for themselves. They scroll through emails, text, social media, drowning in distractions before their feet even touch the floor. And just like that, they've lost control of their morning. Because the moment you let the world dictate your first thoughts, you surrender your power. You let external noise set your mindset. You allow other people's opinions, notifications, and demands to decide your priorities before you've even had a chance to define them for yourself. That's not ownership. That's not control. That's living on someone else's terms. When you own your mornings, you take back that control. You start the day with intention, not reaction. You wake up with a plan, not just to survive the day, but to dominate it. You don't wait for motivation to strike. You create it. You don't let the first few hours slip through your fingers. You make them count. And here's the truth. The first hour of your day is the most valuable time you have. It sets the tone for everything that follows. If you start your morning in chaos, you carry that chaos with you. If you start it in discipline, that discipline follows you. If you start it with purpose, your entire day aligns with that purpose. But most people waste it. They wake up late, they rush through their morning routine, they scramble to get out the door, already stressed, already behind. They let the day push them around because they didn't take control of it from the start. And then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they never have time for themselves, why they never seem to get ahead. It's because they don't own their mornings. Look at the most successful people in the world, the leaders, the high achievers, the game changers. They don't wake up hoping the day will go well. They make it go well. They set their intentions before the rest of the world is even awake. They don't start their day by reacting. They start by leading. And it's not about waking up at 4 a.m. or following some perfect morning routine. It's about having a system, a set of habits that build momentum, whether it's exercise, reading, journaling, meditation, goal setting. What matters is that you are intentional, that you decide what you need to do to be at your best, and you do it. Because the alternative, it's a life of being controlled by circumstances instead of creating them. It's waking up each morning with no direction, no discipline, no ownership, and then wondering why success feels out of reach. And let's be clear. Owning your morning isn't about perfection. It's not about getting everything right every single day. It's about making the decision day after day to start strong, to set a standard for yourself, to refuse to let the morning slip through your fingers because you understand that how you start is how you finish. When you own your mornings, you don't just get up, you rise with purpose. You don't just go through the motions, you take control. You don't just hope for a good day, you create one. And that changes everything. Excuses are the silent killers of progress. They don't announce themselves. They don't show up as obvious roadblocks. They disguise themselves as reasonable justifications, as logical explanations for why things didn't go as planned. And if you're not careful, you start believing them. You start accepting them as truth. And before you know it, they've stolen your momentum, your discipline, and your results. Excuses sound like, I don't have enough time. I'm too tired today. I'll start tomorrow. It's not the right moment. I don't feel motivated. But here's the reality. Time will never slow down for you. Energy will never be unlimited. The right moment will never magically appear. And motivation, it's inconsistent. It comes and goes like the wind. You can't build a life, a career, or a dream on something as unreliable as motivation. The people who achieve great things in life are not the ones with perfect conditions. They are the ones who push forward despite the conditions. They are the ones who refuse to let excuses dictate their outcomes. They are the ones who understand that every excuse is just another reason to stay the same, and staying the same is the fastest way to failure. Think about this. Every time you make an excuse, you reinforce a pattern of postponing action, a pattern of allowing circumstances to control you instead of taking control of your circumstances. And the more you repeat this pattern, the stronger it becomes. Excuses are like weeds. If you don't pull them out early, they spread. They take over your mindset, your habits, your identity. They start small. One skipped workout, one delayed project, one missed opportunity, but soon they multiply. Suddenly, weeks, months, even years pass, and you're still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. Because nothing changes until you change. Look around at the people who have built incredible lives, businesses, bodies, and mindsets. They all had excuses too. They all had moments when they could have justified giving up. But they didn't. They showed up when they didn't feel like it. They did the work when it was inconvenient. They pushed through when it was painful, and that's why they succeeded. Excuses don't just slow you down, they rob you of your own potential. They steal opportunities before you even get the chance to take them. They create a false narrative in your mind. A narrative where obstacles are bigger than your willpower, where setbacks mean stop, where success is something reserved for other people, not you. And once you believe that story, you stop trying. You settle. You convince yourself that where you are is where you're supposed to be. But here's the truth. You are not supposed to be stuck. You are not supposed to be average. You are not supposed to live a life of limitation. You are meant for more, but only if you stop making excuses and start taking action. The moment you eliminate excuses, you take back your power. You stop waiting for better circumstances and start creating them. You stop blaming external factors and start holding yourself accountable. Because at the end of the day, it's not about talent. It's not about luck. It's not about who had an easier path. It's about who decided to show up and put in the work no matter what. So ask yourself, what excuses have been holding you back? What stories have you been telling yourself about why you can't, why you shouldn't, why you won't? And then ask yourself, what would happen if you let them go, if you stopped waiting for the perfect time and just started now, if you stopped allowing excuses to run your life and took full control of your future? Because that's the difference between success and stagnation. Not circumstances, not luck, not motivation, just one simple decision. No more excuses. Most people spend their lives avoiding hardship. They see struggle as a curse, as something to escape from, as proof that life is unfair. But the truth? Hardships are your greatest advantage. They are the testing ground where you prove what you're made of. They are the fire that forges resilience, strength, and character. Without them, you don't grow. Without them, you don't become who you're meant to be. Look at anyone who has ever achieved greatness. Anyone who has broken barriers, built empires, or changed the world. They all have one thing in common. They endured struggle, and they used it. They didn't run from hardship. They leaned into it. They embraced it, learned from it, and let it sharpen them into something unstoppable. Because here's the reality. Pain is inevitable, but growth is optional. You can either let hardship break you or build you. You can either see challenges as obstacles or as opportunities. You can either complain about how unfair life is, or you can recognize that every setback is a setup for a stronger comeback. The difference between those who rise and those who fall isn't the presence of hardship. Everyone struggles. Everyone faces pain, rejection, failure, and setbacks. The difference is what you do with it. Most people see struggle as a sign to stop. They hit a wall and assume it means they weren't meant to go further. They take failure as proof that they aren't good enough. But the people who succeed, they see struggle as fuel. They take every hardship, every loss, every painful moment and turn it into power, because hardship is the best teacher you will ever have. It exposes your weaknesses, but it also reveals your strengths. It forces you to develop discipline, patience, and resilience, qualities that comfort will never give you. When everything is easy, you don't grow. When everything is smooth, you don't learn. But when you are challenged, when life pushes you to your limit, that's when you have the opportunity to become something greater. Think about it. Every champion has trained through pain. Every successful entrepreneur has endured failure. Every strong leader has faced criticism, rejection, and obstacles that would have made most people quit. And that's why they succeeded, because they didn't run from difficulty. They didn't ask for an easier path. They asked for the strength to walk the hard one. And that same strength is inside of you. Your hardships are not the things holding you back. Your excuses are. Your doubts are. Your fear of struggle is. But struggle itself, it's a gift. It's a chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you think, more capable than you imagine, and tougher than anything life throws at you. The truth is, most people will never reach their full potential because they are too afraid to endure discomfort. They want success, but they don't want the struggle that comes with it. They want the reward, but they don't want to pay the price. They want to grow, but they don't want to go through the process that makes growth possible. But you can't skip the hard part. You can't avoid the grind and expect to come out strong. The only way to build resilience is to go through the fire. The only way to develop toughness is to be tested. The only way to rise is to struggle through the climb. So when life gets hard, when obstacles appear, when everything in you wants to quit, good. That's your moment. That's your opportunity. That's where you find out who you really are. Because hardship is not here to destroy you, it's here to shape you. It's here to refine you. It's here to build the version of you that you were always meant to become. Success isn't a single moment. It's not one breakthrough, one lucky break, or one massive decision that changes everything. Success is built in the small daily choices you make when no one is watching. It's not about what you want. Everyone wants success. It's about what you're willing to do to earn it. Every single day you have a choice to push forward or stay the same, a choice to take action or make excuses, a choice to do the hard work or take the easy way out. And the truth is, the life you're living right now is the result of those choices, not your circumstances, not your background, not luck, just your decisions, compounded over time. Most people, they want to believe that success is about talent, opportunity, or being in the right place at the right time. But that's just an excuse. The people who win in life are the ones who decide day after day to show up, put in the work, and refuse to quit no matter what. Because success isn't glamorous. It's not some grand cinematic moment of victory. It's built in the mornings when you get up early to train while everyone else sleeps. It's built in the late nights when you keep working while others are relaxing. It's built in the moments when you feel tired, unmotivated, and uncertain, but you push forward anyway. And that's what separates those who succeed from those who don't. Most people make the mistake of thinking success is about motivation, but motivation is temporary. It fades. It's unreliable. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you'll fail every time. The real key is discipline, the ability to make the right choice even when you don't feel like it. Because there will be days when you don't feel like getting up early. There will be days when you don't feel like putting in the extra effort. There will be days when everything in you wants to quit. And on those days, you have two choices: give in to the excuses or push through the resistance. That's where success is decided, not on the easy days, but on the hard ones. Not when everything is going well, but when everything is trying to stop you. The problem is, Most people choose comfort over progress. They choose what feels good now over what will make them great later. They say, I'll start tomorrow. I'll do it when I feel ready. I'll wait for the right time. But tomorrow turns into next week turns into next year, and before they know it, they're still stuck in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. Because success isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. Every single day you are casting votes for the person you want to become. Every decision, big or small, is either moving you closer to success or further from it. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, you reinforce the identity of a winner. Every time you push through, you build confidence in yourself. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you separate yourself from the people who are still waiting for the perfect moment. Success is not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do consistently. The daily habits, the daily disciplines, the daily commitment to excellence. That's what creates real, lasting results. And it's not just about your career, your fitness, or your finances. This applies to every part of your life. The way you treat people, the way you handle challenges, the way you show up for yourself and for others. Every choice matters. Every action compounds. Every single day is another opportunity to move closer to the life you say you want. So the question is simple. Are you making the right choices? Are you showing up with intention? Are you doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it? Or are you letting excuses, distractions, and temporary comfort steal your potential? Because success isn't about luck. It's not about wishing. It's not about waiting. It's about deciding every single day to do what it takes